how many of you are familiar with this Batman vs Ninja Turtles set? This was an exclusive for GameStop after the movie came out, which I guess is, a lot of people love the movie. These things came out, I don't know, 2019 or something, and they were 50 bucks per pair. Per set, per box. So obviously all the other turtles came, but the big question today is, are they worth it? Especially now that on some of these, like Leonardo with Batman, the prices have gone well above the retail pricing. So, do these things hold up? Were they worth it back then? Are they worth it now? Let's start with Donatello and Batgirl, which I'm gonna say is probably one of the best looking figures of a Batgirl cartoon to real life that I can tell so far. So who knows? Maybe we'll get this thing out and there'll be hunks of junk, but this set you can actually get at a reasonable price. Let's look at the back of the box. So these are the other sets. So this one is a bit expensive, like way above retail. This one is also pretty expensive. That one's not so bad. I don't remember, didn't really care about those. Then there's also actually a Michelangelo dressed as Batman, but that's a whole nother story. I wanna know, are these things really worth their price? These were the creators, whatever, DC Collectibles, I don't know. This is all new to me. The only thing I already know is who these characters are. But the box itself, pretty simple. I got it on eBay, so it's not in the best of shape. This side, the glue's not even there anymore. And there was like a really gross coating all over it. Like, who are you people that have these disgusting coatings that I have to like wipe off? It didn't smell like cigarettes, but that's kind of what it reminded me of, that smoke, how it sticks and leaves a film on anything. Anyway, let's open these things up and see if I made a mistake. And I gotta add in, Paul Harding, the name we always see in a lot of NECA stuff. I just threw that box because it stinks, because the owner that I bought it from, yucky. But Paul Harding, excellent. Man, he's just always crushing it. So yeah, easy enough when there's no glue anymore. I got these for like 35 plus shipping, so it wasn't too bad. Inside sleeves, just a turtle pattern, basic, no one cares. But first glance, I mean, they look good. There are some odd choices, like how thick the wrists are around the hands, but maybe it's justified. Let's, what was that noise? Let's get them out of the package. Has that happened to anybody else before? It hurts. My finger went through the plastic. Oh my god. All right, well, what do? I'm gonna have to look at how many pieces are there and where are they all over the house now? Jesus. And before you guys go any further, I'm trying to find this other hand, but I think you could help me find it if you hit the like button. Stupid, but it might. All right, so legit, I had to watch this overhead camera back frame by frame to see the trajectory of where this hand went, because it landed in the plastic, it was there, but then when I pulled my finger out, it just shot off this way, it went underneath all of this stuff, like way in the back corner. It's just like, well, we're here. We did it. Immediately, just like getting them out of the box, I am a little fearful of these joints because they're just like super wobbly, very loose. Let's just jump in. We got to look at these things. So we got this alternate head, which I like this. I like the little eye piece, but I don't like the batter's helmet, and it doesn't come off. So I would love a really, of course, it's been a minute since I watched the movie. I don't remember, obviously this is just coming right out of the movie, but I would like Donatello and some like techie cool stuff. The baseball hat is kind of a bummer. We got the TCRI, which is, you know, classic. You got to have that. That's just a typical Ninja Turtle thing. Same with the pizza. And this is actually a good looking pizza. I like the paint work. Sculpt is really good. It's like a softer style, which would be good if you want to heat it up a little bit and then just apply some pressure. You can get that nice kind of drippy look, which you can also do with NECA stuff if you have NECA pizza. The bow staff is pretty straightforward, so there's not a lot of paint in a lot of these pieces. They're pretty straightforward. I mean, they are coming from a cartoon, but a little over spray or whatever, fine, straightforward. Maybe some black outlines would help push that, like how I see on her and him. We have the communicator, the turtle comm. What do you want to call this thing? It's very simple, very delicate. It kind of reminiscent of the 87 style. I dig that. That's pretty cool. But good detail work there. The sculpt, basic paint, nothing really on the display, which is, well, it's fine. It's whatever. And then you got these big old hands with the details are fine. I mean, again, this is like a very stylized take on turtles, but you can obviously see those nails, the fingernails, and these pretty flat, you know, like, I don't know, karate chopping hands. You can like halt. Don't move any closer, Mr. or Mrs. Batgirl's got some really, really tiny pieces, and I obviously don't remember anything about this injection piece. Let's start with the Batarang. Pretty sweet, basic, but it looks good. I like it. You got this, which is some kind of, I don't remember. Like I said, it's been a minute. Some kind of serum or whatever. They get shot and injected in people. This is the before and after. Then you get the grappling hook, which apparently is also called a grapnel with a PN, and I don't like that. I don't know why. That's like NECA sells like a 1-to-1 scale, and it is called a grapnel hook. I don't like that. Why is that N in there? But you get there's no string or cable or anything in here, or even like a long wire thing to make it look like it's shooting out of there. So you just get this kind of before she's ready to shoot and when it's ready to shoot. Which is, yeah, I don't, you have to find a way. Who's modified it? God. If there's somebody out there that makes cables or has suggestions and stuff, yeah, it'd be nice if I like this figure by the end of the day, if it's worth that time and effort. But I would definitely like kind of this stuck cable you could like bend. That'd be sweet. Much like this McFarlane one. I mean, this is pretty simple, but obviously you could do like a better version of this and have it where you could remove it. But I like this kind of in action thing. It's just like just as she's shooting it, which is pretty cool. But that's enough compliments for McFarlane. We got her little phone, which is like, you know, a little Android. Clearly not an iPhone. Bat phone, what do you want to call it? It's got good detail for as small as it is, you know? Not a bad design at all. The pizza is the exact same thing, so we'll just put that right over there. We already looked at it. You get some gripping hands. So this is like a, what do you call this? Like a tight grip. And then you got these medium grip, which are probably more for the grapple hook, as we'll call it. And then she comes with fisties by the default. They both do. So they're ready, they're punching by default. But I really like this take on her cartoon style. So this is like it's a really good looking Batgirl, in my opinion. I think it's been, like I said, been a minute since I've seen the movie, but it's a nice representation of the character, and I feel like you could kind of cross universes with this thing. Scale-wise, I'm guessing these things are a little bit more like 112. Ryu's 112, that seems about right. But we'll do a whole size comparison, obviously, like I always do in part of the video, but it just kind of cuts to it while I'm still talking about whatever. And it might even be right now, because I'm still talking about it. So let's look further at her details. God, I'm so stupid. The style is cool. I like what they've done. You know, what else is there to say? It's different, okay? Belt here, while it does move up and down on the body, is gonna really cause some limitations in this right leg to kick to the side. If you finagle it just enough, you can. Obviously, it just looks a little weird, but you might want to do mostly left leg kicks. Let's talk about articulation now. What's with my finger? So the cape is just a hard, like a pliable plastic. God, I'm so stupid today. Words are hard. Any character that has long hair is gonna have issues looking up, right? So that's it, she's done. She's as far up as she can go. But down is pretty good. She's got really no like tilt, just kind of wobbles a little bit by chance on that ball joint. But obviously rotation a little bit. Could do with some neck joints, but I don't know. This would be like $25 per character, I guess, when you break it down. Retail original listing. I don't know DC Collectibles. What else they've done? Is this like standard quality? Is this good? Are these like premium figures? Now it's a single joint elbow, but it goes a little bit more than 90 degrees, which is nice. And then you get this wrist, which obviously rotates. The good thing about a peg like this, I mean, it's just so freaking tiny. The good thing about a ball peg like this is that you get whatever kind of wrist action that you want. So if you need it to be like a pointing wrist or whatever, you just have to rotate it, or, you know. So there are ups and downs to it, is what I'm saying. Okay? What am I saying? I'm saying there's ups and downs to it, literally and figuratively. So the waist articulation, whatever you call this, diaphragm, torso, I don't care what you call it, okay? You can see what I'm doing, where it's happening. The legs, yucky, that came off real easy. So sensitive, you know what I mean? Kind of like Mad Hatter, it's just sensitive when you just mess with it for too long. You think it's sturdy enough, you mess with it too long, and then it's sensitive. I feel like you're gonna get some good poses out of these characters. Not the toughest of joints, but double jointed knee, which is good. I feel like you can probably go a little bit further, but I'm getting some resistance and I'm afraid to break anything. You got this ankle, which is fine. It's a pretty standard ankle, but that's enough of Batgirl. I'm talking too long. Let's look at Donatello. The really kind of interesting, what I like about these turtles that they've done this time is that each one has a unique look, which is coming from the movie and obviously translates into figures, so you're not just copy paste in molds. And that's the thing with NECA. I really wish that they would have leaned into the height differences of the turtles, at least in the movies, the 90 movies, and just made like Michelangelo a little bit smaller, just like really leaned into that. I would have paid a little bit more for that. But at the end of the day, still love them, don't I? Yeah. So Donatello's head articulation is basically non-existent. He just rotates. His bandana is stuck back here, but it was just a byproduct of that dude's gross house, I think. Look at that. It left a little purple thing in there. I mean, I'd like to have another bandana too, so maybe one in action, so it's like in the air, but this is just a nice resting one that will never really rest again. But yeah, so the head articulation is garbage. It just rotates. That's all you get. And come on, you got to have a better articulation than that. There's so much cut out around his face, but it just goes so far down in the neck. The shoulders are fine, basic, you know, nothing special there. You get a single joint, which makes this elbow pad stick from the back of the arm, which is weird. I mean, if you did double jointed elbows, you could have put the pad on the middle joint. That's kind of an odd choice. This is the part I hate the most. It's just like, it looks like he has a sleeve on, but that's his body. He doesn't have a sleeve. It's his skin. So you get these really stupid little peg ball joint things that, yeah, it's not gonna look great unless you really push the wrist into like an angle like that and kind of help. I don't know. That's stupid. There is a set of There's an articulation piece in the middle of the body, but like, what are you gonna get out of that? You get a little bit of leaning. You don't really get anything else. So I don't know why you would do that. It's better than not having it, I guess. The legs do not go into splits because the hip is hitting his body. So that's it. Unless you really force it, then it does. I'm so dumb. I'm just afraid to break it. So yeah, you get full splits, believe it or not, and double jointed knees, which look, you did it. You did the thing I said you could do up here. Put the double joints, put the pad on that. That would have been great. But it seems like some good articulation for kicks. He's got that nice wide bottom leg like the other versions of Turtles, the early iterations from the comics and stuff. Ankles, pretty standard. So you get a little more articulation than I would have expected, that's for sure. So I think you'll be able to get their legs to stand flat regardless of what pose they're in. The legs do feel a little soft. Let's pop a hand off. I can't. That was really tight. Always afraid of breaking stuff, especially with a brand I've never dealt with before. Let's get this stupid staff in there. That doesn't go in very well. Okay, well, it removes paint. So maybe you just gotta go this way? Find the skinniest part of the bow staff and put it together, or that. Okay. So sometimes if you feel like you're stupid because you can't put something together, you probably are. And I'm living proof of that. If you ever just want to feel better about yourself, go back and watch that part. Stupid idiot. No one will ever love you. So it's fine. Whatever. We've got a thing. We got a Donatello. It's okay. I don't know. I would rather have some extra head articulation for sure. It's like to look up and down so you could kind of like, he's always gonna, I don't know. But these are unique things. And if you were able to get these things clearance, I think, yeah, definitely worth it because it's just a fun alternate version of these characters. And if for nothing else, the Batman side of this whole line looks really, really good. So I think this is a line even just for Batman people, fans of Batman stuff would really like this. I wish there was a little bit better job on the articulation, but overall these are good. And who doesn't like just a new take on Turtles? Apparently a lot of idiots. Hey, we've already had those old stories before. Give us something new. Okay. I'm making a lot of people mad. Are these worth the 50 bucks at retail? Yeah, I think so. $25 a piece is not bad at all. This set you can get below that, although shipping might put you back at retail. The other ones, that's where it's gonna get tricky. Are they worth the aftermarket price? That's a good question. And Jay is gonna be sending me Leonardo and Batman, so I get to unbox those and see if they are really worth it, because those are highly sought after. You got the leaders of both sides of this animation, but it's real expensive now. So if you enjoyed this series, this video, then stick around with the channel, because we'll find out if the other ones are worth it. God, why am I doing this? As always though, thank you all for coming here and watching this stuff and then commenting, which is what you're gonna be doing right now, because you were like, oh, I wasn't even gonna comment, but then he asked me to, and he said thank you for it. So I'm gonna go down there, and even if I just comment first, or whatever it is, thank you. And I will reply. Why did I get real Southern there? I don't know. That's my Southern roots are coming out sometimes. I get into a posing segment, which is what I'm about to go do. So stick around, check that out. Let's see if we can get some cool poses out of these. And thank you so much. We'll see you next time.